Have you ever felt that? The weight of expectations you can't even really see? These sort of pressures shaping your choices like invisible hands.
Oh, absolutely. That sense of unseen forces influencing our lives, especially in relationships, it can really impact your sense of self, your agency.
Well, today we're getting into Stephenie Meyer's New Moon. It's a book that, wow, it powerfully portrays this exact struggle through Bella Swan's journey. It's intense.
It really is a period of intense emotional turmoil, huge decisions for her.
Yeah, and exploring it might give us a chance to reflect on, similar things in our own lives.
Definitely. The relational dynamics are rich.
And if you find this analysis interesting, you should definitely check out Mindful Moments. It's our YouTube channel.
Right. It uses AI-powered analysis to look at books,
Yeah.
designed to make you think, really reflect on the themes and characters.
Exactly. So let's start with Bella's birthday. It seems simple, right? A party, gifts. But it's so uncomfortable for her.
It really is. And why is that? Why does just getting presents feel so loaded?
Well, I think part of it is Alice, isn't it? Her knowing things.
Exactly. Alice's visions, her precognitive abilities, they kind of create this atmosphere where real surprise, that spontaneous connection, it's just diminished.
So Bella knows, or feels like, even gift-giving is sort of pre-planned by someone else's vision.
Precisely. It highlights this subtle loss of her own control, her autonomy within these relationships, and even Edward asking formally if he can wish her happy birthday.
Yeah. It underlines the constraints, doesn't it? This unusual dynamic they have.
It's like every single interaction has to be carefully managed.
And that desire for control, or maybe protection, it extends to Edward revealing those contingency plans he made after Phoenix.
Right. That's a big reveal. What does that tell us about his perspective, you think?
Well, it shows this huge weight of responsibility he feels, doesn't it? Because they're different. Because she's always potentially in danger just by being near them.
Yeah, the inherent danger. Yeah. His planning, which, comes from love, it really underscores this constant underlying anxiety, this need to protect her from threats she might not even see coming.
And that memory of the mirrored room with James, that must fuel it constantly.
Oh, absolutely. That near-death experience is a vivid backdrop to his fear.
So his actions, driven by love, but also deeply rooted in fear. And Carlisle touches on this too at the party.
He does. Carlisle reflects on Edward's goodness, his essential decency, but at the same time, he acknowledges the risk, the danger just their existence poses to Bella.
It really makes you think about that line between protecting someone and, well, constraining them.
That's a key tension. And Carlisle even wonders about Edward's soul, the philosophical implications of their existence.
It touches on the huge sacrifices involved in their life, doesn't it? They want connection, but their very nature can harm the ones they love.
Exactly. That longing for intimacy, fighting against the responsibility for keeping others safe, it's compelling.
And this idea, this burden of responsibility, it feels like a pattern. We even hear echoes of it in Carlisle's story about Edward's human mother, Elizabeth Mason.
Right. That's such an important piece of backstory. How does her story connect?
Well, her fierce love, her sacrifice for Edward during the influenza epidemic, it sets a precedent, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And the detail about her physical resemblance, the bronze hair, the green eyes, just like Edward, it establishes this powerful legacy of devotion, of protection in the family.
It's just this deep instinct for selflessness across generations. Adds another layer to how complex love is for them.
A love really defined by profound sacrifice.
Which makes Edward's departure even more
jarring.
She just abruptly ends it. Claims his world isn't for Bella.
That scene in the woods, what's the core of his reasoning there? Because it feels complex.
He points to the Jasper incident at the party, right?
Yeah.
Uses it as proof that he's too dangerous. It all comes back to that fear.
Deep-seated fear of endangering her more. Even though Bella is pleading, she's offering her soul basically anything.
Yeah. You can have my soul.
Yeah.
It shows how absolute her love is, her willingness to risk it all.
But Edward insists. He says he's tired of pretending to be something he's not. Focuses on his non-human nature, that face she sees.
He's trying to create a gap, isn't he? An unbridgeable one, believing it's the only real way to keep her safe.
So the departure itself, incredibly painful, but he frames it as protection, an act of love, in a twisted way.
But Bella's reaction, it's not exactly healthy, is it? She starts engaging in really reckless behavior.
Not at all. The motorcycles, the cliff diving, What's going on there psychologically?
It seems like she's desperately trying to get him back, even if it's just his voice. The adrenaline, the danger, it triggers these hallucinations of him.
Right, the auditory hallucinations. His voice warning her. It's a profound manifestation of grief, isn't it? Where that longing gets tangled up with really dangerous behavior.
Shows the destructive paths grief can take you down when you're searching for that lost connection.
It's a really stark picture of how loss can warp your perception.
And then into this void steps Jacob Black. He offers a very different kind of connection.
Yes, Jacob. What does that evolving relationship give Bella at this point?
Well, it's comfort, isn't it? A sense of normalcy. Something grounding her back in the human world, which feels so different from the intensity with Edward.
That contrast is key. The supernatural intensity versus, well, fixing motorcycles.
Exactly. His practical support, their friendship developing, it becomes a vital lifeline for her. Gives her a sense of belonging, maybe a distraction from the grief too.
It really highlights that human need for connection, for support, especially during loss.
She seems to find some solace in the familiar, the human. But even that safety is threatened, isn't it? When Laurent shows up unexpectedly.
Laurent in the meadow. That encounter signifies, well, that the danger hasn't gone away just because Edward left.
Right. It permeates her life regardless. And Laurent himself has changed. He admits he's cheating on the vegetarian vampire lifestyle.
Yeah, his changed nature, betraying his old allies.
Yeah.
It shows how fluid things are in that supernatural world. Allegiances shift.
And then the wolves appear. Suddenly.
Oh.
Terrifyingly.
The intervention of the werewolves, it reveals this whole other hidden layer of protection around Bella, one she had no idea about. And Laurent is clearly terrified of them.
So even without Edward, she's still caught in this complicated, dangerous web.
Absolutely. And then Jacob himself starts to change dramatically. That impacts their connection hugely.
Oh, massively. His transformation into a werewolf.
Yeah.
It creates this major rift, doesn't it?
Huge communication breakdown. Bella's scared, confused about the changes in him, his anger, his connection to Sam Uli's group, this gang as she sees it initially.
He becomes unrecognizable for a while. Physically different, emotionally distant.
Yeah, that forced distance because of his werewolf nature.
Yeah.
It's painful. Shows how these massive personal changes, these different identities can strain even really close bonds.
It really highlights that challenge, doesn't it? Maintaining relationships through significant shifts.
Definitely. And just when things seem impossibly complicated, Alice arrives with a vision.
A terrifying vision. That sends Bella racing off to Italy. What triggers that desperate mission?
It's Alice seeing Edward planning to, well, end his life, based on wrong information from Rosalie about Bella being dead.
Misinformation with potentially fatal consequences. It creates this absolute urgency for Bella.
No hesitation. Her immediate determination to get to Volterra just underscores how deep her love still is, her commitment to him.
And Alice explains about the Volturi, about Eyre's interest in their abilities, adds another layer of danger.
Right. The stakes get even higher. Their actions could have consequences within the whole vampire power structure.
So it's this frantic race against time, fueled by love and a terrible misunderstanding, leading to the confrontation with the Volturi.
Which is such a pivotal moment. What's the real significance of that encounter in Volterra?
Well, it pulls back the curtain on the ancient power structure, the governance of the vampire world. You see Arrow, Marcus, Caius.
And Alice is so strategic, using her visions to prove Bella's future, to bargain for their lives. It shows the importance of understanding and using your unique strengths.
Definitely. And Arrow is fascinated, isn't he? By Bella's immunity to mental powers and by Alice's visions.
Yes, it highlights how rare and valuable their individual traits are in this supernatural society.
It's this high-stakes gamble that thankfully pays off. Edward is saved. But the reunion, it's not simple, is it?
No, far from it. What are the underlying emotions when they finally reconnect?
It's just charged with everything they've been through. Separation, regret, immense relief, but also doubt. Bella struggles to believe he truly loves her after he left like that.
You can't blame her. And Edward is desperate to convince her, isn't he? Trying to undo the damage.
He really is. Acknowledging his mistake, calling it blasphemy when he told her he didn't want her. It shows how vital their connection is, how much he realizes that now.
It's a very fragile rebuilding process happening there.
And Bella, having faced all that loss and danger, she comes out of it with a very clear idea of what she wants for her future.
Yes, her desire to become a vampire. What's the significance of that decision now?
It feels like her ultimate commitment, doesn't it? To Edward, to being fully part of his world, to finally overcoming the danger of her human vulnerability.
It represents that integration she's yearning for. And the Cullens' reactions are so varied.
Right. Emmett's all for it. Rosalie has serious reservations. Esme is accepting. Carlisle is understanding. It shows the complex ripple effects of her choice on the whole family.
It's a decision with huge lasting consequences for everyone.
And then, right near the end, we get that tense interaction when Jacob comes back and Edward is there.
Ah, yes. Edward and Jacob face to face again. What does that reveal about their dynamic moving forward?
It just underscores that fundamental tension, doesn't it, between their worlds, their natures, but also their shared connection to Bella.
Definitely. But there's that surprising moment where Edward actually thanks Jacob.
Yeah, gratitude for protecting Bella while he was gone. Despite the rivalry, it hints at maybe, just maybe, a fragile understanding could be possible, based on mutual concern for her.
Even if the underlying conflict is obviously still there.
So really, Bella's journey in New Moon, it's just this powerful exploration of love's complexities, the absolute pain of loss, the weight of responsibility, and the incredibly hard choices you make navigating different worlds.
Indeed. The book gives such a compelling look at how people cope with huge emotional shifts, how they try to find connection and figure out who they are under extraordinary pressure.
And if this exploration of New Moon has got you thinking, we really encourage you to check out Mindful Moments and our podcasts for more discussions like this.
Yeah, more explorations of these kinds of themes in different stories.
So as we wrap up, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel for more explorations of captivating narratives like this one.
And share this discussion with anyone else you think might find it interesting or thought-provoking.
Consider supporting the author, Stephenie Meyer, and helping us create more content by purchasing the book. You can usually find a link in the description.
And most importantly, we really encourage you to keep thinking critically about the choices, the emotions, the relationships in the story, and maybe how they shed light on things in your own life too.